Growing up, well, my whole life I've been a pastor's kid, a PK, they call it. We were always at church, always having people over at our house. I remember hearing a few quite interesting conversations at home as I was a child that maybe I shouldn't have heard. As a kid, I've spent a lot of time fishing, playing sports, hanging out with friends, and I remember we had lots and lots of family holidays. We have a very tight family. I just knew our family was strong and we all loved each other, and that was the main thing as a kid. It gives you a bit of security. As every man would know, there's heaps of things that are trying to tempt you and pull you away from Christ growing up as a young fella and as a teenager. And look, I've done my fair share of silly things over my life and made poor decisions, but I guess as a Christian and growing up in a home that's taught me about who Christ is and who I am in Christ, I know that those things don't define who I am, and so I consider myself as a new creation in Christ. When I was a kid, what I wanted to be when I grew up was a professional cricketer. That all changed earlier on in my teenage years when I went on some mission trips. I guess it changed my view on life, and I really wanted to spend my life helping people in whatever profession that would be. So I made the decision to become a paramedic about 4 years ago. I was nursing in the emergency department, but look, I wanted to change. I wanted to stay in the same sort of field, so I prayed about it and felt that going to study paramedicine was the next step. I can recall a specific 2-week period where I've most seen one spectrum of the scale to the other. So at first there was an exciting and happy job of delivering a baby, and we delivered a little baby boy on the side of the road, which was exciting. A week later you go to a job where it's the complete opposite, where there's kids that die in a car accident and you're the first on scene, and you see the emotions of the family. It brings up emotions in yourself when you have kids of your own as well. I've been married 5 years now to my beautiful, kind-hearted Rachel. We've got 2 beautiful little daughters, Olivia and Natalie, and they melt my heart every day. I guess at times it's normal to feel, to have emotion in jobs. I think the day you don't feel is a day maybe you're not meant to be doing the work, but you quite often are exposed to things that are complete opposite to my own life. So I'll be at home with my family, it's quite peaceful. At church with your friends, worship leading at church, and then the next day you clock on at work and you go to situations that are complete opposite, like family that's going through abuse, people passing away, people that are sick. But I have a peace about it, knowing that it's what Christ called me to do with my life. Like, I go into the jobs knowing that none of it's my fault, but I go in knowing that I can help. To be honest, I can see how people that haven't grown up knowing Christ or don't know about Christ could blame God for the situations they're in, or simply just not believe there's a God. I guess what I can say to people that don't know Christ, and that even that do know Christ, is that when the stuff happens, if you've got a life that's centred on Christ, He guarantees you that He'll bring you peace to your mind and your heart. It can only come from knowing Christ. It's unexplainable, but once you've got the peace, it doesn't leave you. Philippians 4:6-7 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds." To know that whatever we're going through in life, that Christ just wants us to trust Him and have faith that if we present what's going on to Him, He guarantees, He promises that He's going to give us peace.